Hi there, Pisces. Welcome to your May 2022 General Tarot reading. It's Raina here. So I actually did like 10 minutes of this reading and I decided to start all over again because um, I was talking about something astrologically that was completely off. And I probably could have edited it. I probably should have edited it. I kind of just, I don't think I'd say I panicked, but I decided to do it over again. So, the heart of the matter is the Hermit card. The Hermit card is a time when you feel this urge to kind of keep to yourself. And the reason that you're keeping to yourself in this particular case, I'm talking about with the Hermit card, is because you want to get in touch with your inner light. You're trying to get away from other people's opinions and get in touch with yourself. It's interesting because the Hermit is connected to Virgo in astrology, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And you can see, if you know Saturn, that's in the backdrop. And I don't see that is erroneous in a lot of ways, because I feel like the Hermit, or you can say like the mystic, the what does it say? The ascetic, the person who is renouncing the world, the renunciate, the monk, whatever you want to call him or her. That type of person is going to usually be very disciplined about not being overly indulgent in the pleasures of the flesh. That's the whole point of, even being alone. It's like, you could say, depriving oneself of human contact, but it's not a deprivation. So that's not really a good word to use. It's actually a quieting of the outer environment so that you can tune in better to yourself. And you did get a lot of major arcana cards. I picked an additional card after the death card, which I didn't need to do, but I know some people, they get a little bit weirded out because they take it literally, and it's not. It's about something that is ending, and it's also about transformation. So that's spiritual as well. And when I look at the past position, you see the Empress, and this can be the a card connected to Taurus or Libra through the planet Venus. It's the Earth Mother energy, but even a man can have that side to himself if he is a parent. A father nurtures his children. Maybe he's not breastfeeding his kids, but he might be feeding them other things and just taking care of them. And what I was saying the first time around when I was doing this is that I gave the example of an empty nester who is facing, now that this is for May, this is graduation time, or June, early June is, facing the last child leaving the house. And that's going to be a transformation, or you could say a death, in terms of the person's identity as a parent. Yes, you're always a parent. You can be 90 years old and you're somebody's mother or father, but you don't have that same status anymore because you're not. They're grown up. They're independent of you, so you have to find yourself again. And that's how I see the Hermit. And this could be like the Empress as a card of abundance, and it could be like, okay, I'm no longer, I'm retiring, so I'm no longer a breadwinner. I'm going to be deriving my sustenance from other forms of income. It might be passive income or what have you. And making that transition in terms of identifying in that way. That can affect people. If you have gotten divorced, the Empress can be about love, but sometimes love doesn't last. And the death card can speak to that. Maybe people who are going through a divorce or a breakup, and then they are kind of going within themselves. And it's kind of funny because sometimes they say, oh, don't isolate yourself. And of course, sometimes people are isolating themselves because they are really suffering, and it's a sign of something that is seriously wrong. But that's not what I'm talking about with the hermit. I'm talking about somebody that naturally feels a desire to spend more time alone because they're getting over a breakup, and they don't necessarily want to share this with everybody right off the bat. They're trying to process it. They might not even know that, but they really are keeping their own counsel at the moment because they're trying to make sense of it and all of that good stuff. The higher message is the Nine of Cups. And the first thing I would say is this is a good thing. You may not see your situation as positive in some cases if you have been through something. And by the way, I mean, the Empress could be having a new child and feeling the urge to be alone. It could be as simple as that. It might not even be angst-ridden at all. It might just be something where you don't feel the need to socialize because you really are so self-contained at the moment. But looking at the more challenging things, the Nine of Cups, it's so funny because I just noticed this with this card is if you are familiar with the standard tarot deck, the Rider-Waite deck, they show somebody with a smug expression on their face with cups around them, surrounding them, and it's kind of like eat, drink, and be merry. For tomorrow you shall die. No, but I just had to say that because that's the end of that thing. But it's kind of like this card sometimes of overindulgence. And it's so interesting. This deck, in case you're interested, is the Cosmic Slumber Tarot deck. And they show a person submerged in the water. And if that person isn't careful, they could drown, right? So the water can be, very relaxing, cleansing, and there's a positive aspect to it, but there's every good thing, has its form of excess, and too much of a good thing can be not a good thing. So it's like what I think that this can mean is that whatever situation you're in, if it feels like the dark night of the soul, it's funny that the Hermit, there's that Saturn image. Saturn is in Aquarius this year, and for Pisces, that's your 12th house. So it's kind of funny in that sense because it might be talking about that, but I don't personally think that transit for Pisces means a dark night of the soul, because you are very comfortable with the themes of the 12th house because you rule that house. Other people may see it as very challenging because it's a spiritual place. It's not a material place. And for some people, it's just like some people don't like to step into a house of worship because they're such materialists that they downgrade religion. And I don't consider myself religious. I consider myself spiritual, but I can walk into a church and still feel inspired, even if I don't go along with the dogma. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, I'm not Catholic, but I can go into the Catholic church and I really can get something out of that. I might tune out to the mass or whatever, but I can enjoy the stained glass windows and the incense and the votives, all of the bells and whistles. So I think that it can actually be, because Saturn can be discipline, it's really about disciplining you spiritually, because you're naturally spiritual, but you also have that self-indulgence streak. As a matter of fact, the Nine of Cups, I think, is Jupiter in Pisces, which, Jupiter has been in Pisces too as a transit. And as I record this, Jupiter still is in Pisces, in a late degree of Pisces. What crosses you is the Princess of Torches, which is the Page of Wands. I'd rather refer to it as that. And I'm reading it as a reverse card. In the upright position, it can be good news. So you can hear something that you don't like to hear, and you can use that as an excuse not to do what you know that you need to do. So you may misinterpret something, or even if something is not going your way, because we're talking about messages, and Mercury is going retrograde in May. So it is going to be affecting you in the Gemini is your 4th house of home and family. So the thing is that, and it's interesting too, because this is the home front. So yeah, maybe it might be that the Empress is your mother too. It can be any mother, but you may have a misunderstanding with her, and part of it could be because you're withdrawing from the world. And sometimes families are like, I remember that I think he was a psychologist, John Bradshaw. He said families are a cult, and I always thought that was funny, because you can make a case for that sometimes, that if like you leave, they try to keep you from leaving. Like, don't leave us. We're your friends. We'd never hurt you. So yeah, there might be a misunderstanding, and the thing is like, if somebody else doesn't understand why you're doing what you're doing, if you need some time to yourself, and your family of origin, or this is going to also go into your 3rd house, the Mercury retrograde, so it could be siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, your extended family members. If you're usually that person who's always present and accounted for, and you just feel this need to take space from everybody, don't allow somebody else's negative reaction to influence you, because that's a manipulation. And they have the right to their feelings about it if they are, offended. But you have the right to do what you feel called to do. And if you feel like you need to be alone, if you need some alone time, that's fine. If you're looking for some kind of a message, if you're waiting for some kind of a message, don't be discouraged if it doesn't come. Mercury's going direct in early June and won't come out of its shadow until I think about the 18th or 19th of June. So just hold tight and go on about your business. Do what you feel is right, and everything is going to take care of itself. What's coming in is the Magus, which is the Magician card, and this is about you taking the reins and being a conscious co-creator. So I feel like the Magician card is so important. It's funny that we have the Hermit and the Magician, because it really is a solitary effort. I feel like, the Magician is self-reliant. And not to say that you can't ever ask anyone for help as you're trying to accomplish something, but sometimes you have to do your own thing. And there might be something that you're creating that is going to give you a sense of freedom, because really I think of the Page of Wands as kind of your path to freedom. But you might not be quite there yet. There might be some other steps you have to take. The Outcome card is the Death card. Death is inevitable. The end of a cycle is inevitable. Some things last longer than others, a season of one's life. We don't have to fear that. Don't fear the reaper. Blue oyster cult. Don't fear the reaper. But it's really about being able to gracefully go through these different seasons in life. Oh, well, hello. There's going to be a lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Hello. The death card is connected to Scorpio. So this is a fellow water sign, Pisces. And this is coming into your 9th house. You know, of course, that's a general thing. That may, you know, with the Hermit, it may be that you're letting go of a religious belief or a religious group that is no longer what you are all about. You might be more of a solitary type of individual, and you find that that group dynamic doesn't work for you, or that belief system. That's what the 9th house can be, is a belief system that you simply don't abide by anymore. And let's see, then I picked an additional card. And I also think that with work-related issues, this does favor creativity and solitary work. And then I have a clarification card, and we have the Two of Pentacles. This can be getting 2 job offers, but this is person's juggling. So you could be juggling a day job and creating your own business. That's certainly something that I can see. And the thing is that a lot of Pisces individuals are creative. Of course, you're spiritual and you could be doing a healing arts business for sure. But I wanted to honor all those artists out there. And, you know, that's what the Magician card is. Do it yourself. You don't need permission from anyone to go after showcasing your dreams, your talents, I should say, and going after your dreams. Okay, Pisces. Well, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.